So, as promised, we're going to take advantage of a Savage Worlds rule or game system idiom called interludes. They are tales a player can tell in character to roleplay and enhance the game. This is a way to develop character backgrounds, some backstories, add a little, just a little extra flair, a little extra panache to this world, and it gives the player some control over what they've done in the downtime. And over the break, I drew some cards that sort of drive the direction of the story that each character is going to tell. Was it a difficulty one overcame? Was it some hidden bit of knowledge that one found? And if so, how? Was it an emotional entanglement one had to come to grips with? A terrible loss, perhaps? Something like that. So we determined that out of band, and we are going to start the interlude with the characters after Christmas break, sitting around in the living room in their trailer, double wide, 5 bedrooms. Mir gets the nicest bedroom. He got the master because he pays most of the rent. Eric kind of tells about how she did the rodeo circuit and traveled from El Paso all the way up to Casper, Wyoming over the Christmas break. Did some bronco rustling, and bronco busting, right, and some lassoing, and got back in touch with some old friends of hers, and had a great time, and only broke her wrist, which is good, and it was towards the end of the events, so made driving a pain. That truck with the stick shift, 5 on the 5-speed, but all told, she had a good time. But she's ready to get back and finish up sophomore year. Classes are going to be tough, and she's good to go. Mir flew home, visited family and friends, spent some time in the United Arab Emirates. Had a family get together with them. Said it was pretty low key. So who wants to go first with their interlude? And of course, this is purely voluntary in nature, but those that want to participate will earn a penny. It's a good time for the dean to just sit back and relax and let the players drive the story, which is always a good thing, and in my heart of hearts, the direction I like things to go anyway. And I'll share that trailer one more time. Hopefully, Shep, you have it. I don't see your icon.
The trailer? Yeah, I have it. I just put it in the background.
Very good. Who would like to go first, if any of you wish to participate? If not, we'll just move on to the next scene.
I remember wanting to do the thing. I just had to look at it real quick to remind myself.
Okay. I can go first.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
This is going to be a bit of 2 of them. But the first part is Shep went with his family to go see his mom's parents in Louisiana for the Christmas. To have a good old Air Bear Santiago get together. When he got there, strange things just kept happening. All the electronics would stop working. Just out of nowhere, he would get violently sick, or smell really bad. Sort of like he does in Pinebox. And his grandmother had been paying attention and did some rituals of her own and determined that he had been cursed. Um, she thinks maybe by one of her enemies. And that would explain a lot of the bad things that just seem to happen. Now, so she got the family with the everybody with the talent together and performed a kind of a dismissal, a remove curse uh, on Shep. Uh, and once he didn't have that kind of hanging over him, he just realized with everything that went on, with almost losing both Ava and Sophia, he's just taken a vow to make sure his friends are protected. That because this world needs good people to keep it going forward, um, and to try to help them make good choices. As he thinks back to Ava running towards the door.
Or the dog.
Yep. And now, once he's done with that, it took a little bit, but they were successful. Uh, when he got back to Pinebox, he actually did go to Forrester um, to speak with him. He had taken his book with him to his grandmere, and she was she said that it may need somebody. She understood some things, but this would need to be something that could be studied further. So I went to Forrester to work with him on not only improving my knowledge and skill set, but also um, to kind of show him some of the things uh, from the book and see what he has to say about it. Basically to make sure we have a good ally that is well versed in the ritual and occult that's actually nearby. Because
What book?
unfortunately,
Which book? Which book?
That is the one that we found.
Crayton's Compendium that you got from
Maybe.
Lily Boatwright.
Yes. 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 That one. Because Shep had it last. He was going to uh, take it to Gramir and see if she could help him with that. And she's a lot of help, but she's very far away. So he just thinks that Forrester could be a good ally for the group as a whole in trying to unravel things that we need help in with the occult, and especially with this thing about the planes coming together, we may need all the help we can get.
Very good.
Oh boy.
Does that complete your story?
Yes.
Outstanding.
Wonderful.
I do like to take advantage of the various aspects and idioms that Savage Worlds presents as options. We did a chase scene about 8 or 9 or 10 adventure segments ago.
Mhm.
Got out those chase rules. I was pretty happy with the way that they panned out. And here we have again another example. Um, of the Interludes rule. Would one of the ladies like to go next?
I can go. I remember looking over the things and let's see here. Doot, doot, doot. So Ava would have gone back home for Christmas vacation for sure. And to her family's surprise, she has like a bit of newfound confidence because she has such a cool group of friends back in college now. She doesn't tell them that Shep is her boyfriend though. Not yet, because
Ah,
that's
my
kind of
entire family
wild.
knows about you.
Oh man, this girl got three. She got a big old family, and coming back home, she she's got a mom, she's got a dad, she has triplet middle brothers, and she has two eldest sisters who are like in their 30s. There's a lot going on here, and she's the baby. And so the baby coming home with all of this newfound confidence, everybody's like, well, looky here, like, holy smokes, who are you? Like, where did Ava go? Because, I mean, she's still a big nerd, but now she's just like, oh my gosh, guys, hi. I'm kind of living a new life. It's like, I've learned so much. But she does tell everybody about her friends and all of the cool stuff, minus all of the life-threatening bits. But she doesn't have the heart yet to tell them about Shep as her significant other because they're already, like, her parents are already kind of freaking out that their baby is not exactly the same as she was, because of the fact that before she left home, uh, she was always really freaked out about boys, and to hear that she has a couple of boys as friends already, they're just like, I don't know about that. That seems kind of weird. What are you talking about? And so she's like, no, Mom and Dad, you don't understand. I'm doing pretty good. And for the first time, she actually, like, backlashes and, like, talks back to her family, which is like, oh boy. And so she kind of has this like moment of, like, I guess, misbehaving. She's always been such a good kid, and suddenly she's talking back to her parents and they're just like clutching their pearls about it. But her siblings are just like, yeah, you're doing good, kid. um but overall, um I feel like she's always tried to gain approval of her parents to some degree. Um, and the fact that she's kind of pushed back on that has also kind of gained her a little more respect from her siblings, which she didn't always have. And so to have her siblings have her back really makes her a lot happier. And so she tells them that she has another secret, which is the thing about Shep, but she has yet to tell them about it. She's like, I'll have a secret and I want to tell you about it, but you can't tell Mom and Dad.
Any allusions to your near death, or should I say full death experience?
Yeah, right. I would say that she mentions it to her siblings, but she's kind of confiding in them more than her parents now, which is she kind of talks about it a little bit. Like, she'll probably show like a scar, like, look guys, this happened. This is crazy. And my friends helped me and they like really saved my life. And, like, I owe them so much and I love them so much. And I miss them already. And, like, I can't even imagine life without them. And she's just having like this really very delightful conversation. and they're still questioning if she's like super like very much a nerd.
I,
And they're like, "You're still a nerd, but now you have like street cred."
I'd imagine you've accumulated quite the litany of scars,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like down in El Paso if it's hot and you're wearing shorts and a halter top, perhaps. Um,
She's the t-shirt and shorts kind of.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, that's like her wardrobe. So that's why I'd imagine like her scarring from her neck, especially, would be more like show off a little bit. But the hood that she wears would probably do a good job of covering that up.
yeah, and in fact, the healing that elixir of life provided really did um, clear all but the faintest raised red lines of that
Yeah,
injury. That was a powerful curative. Very
yeah,
good. I've enjoyed
yeah,
both of these interludes immensely,
yeah.
and
So that's her little jig. Is that during Christmas break, goes back home, kind of misbehaves by talking back to her parents, gaining better relationship with her siblings rather than her parents. She's
you're
like, "I'm
such a
still
rebel.
gonna do good in school, but you know, like,
Such a rebel.
don't, yeah, like, don't talk bad about my friends, mom,
Very good.
dad."
Laughter around the living space of the double wide trailer that you call your off campus housing. And Sophia, you are left, and sort of all the eyes sort of swing towards you.
Uh, I don't think Sophia really has anything to say here.
Oh,
Nothing fun. You didn't mention Lenny to your family.
They don't know about Lenny yet.
What did you
I'm
do with Lenny over the week that you were back when we weren't here? Anything fun?
Anything fun.
well, we did a puzzle.
They
we
probably
just
did a proper date where life wasn't,
we just spent some time
threatened.
alone, just talking, enjoying each other's some company. Just quiet kind of hanging out without all the demons and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
usually happens when we go out.
They could spoil a good
That's
time,
fair.
can't they?
I painted his portrait, so that took a while.
That's beautiful.
Is it
I love that.
in that rather skimpy, medium sized bard costume?
Sweet cheeks. Oh my
If
god.
I do a recreation of that Renaissance costume, I won't be showing him or telling you guys.
Very,
Great. It's
very
like,
good.
oh, what you painting, Sophia?
Nothing.
So,
Oh, you already know Mir's camera into your art room has already shown all of us.
I would not do that.
You're just taking photos with his fancy photography camera.
That would be
It's like,
against
wait, what's that one in the corner there?
no,
It's
that
like,
would
no,
be
it's
against my
just it's an
credo.
unfinished masterpiece.
Uh. I look at Mir and I go, we all remember how we got that extra credit in freshman year.
With Jackson.
Poor Jackson.
Oh,
Oh,
I know.
Still
poor
AWOL.
Jackson.
Still
Lost to
AWOL.
time.
So I posted and shared a passage from Crayton's Compendium.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can all see it in the time down. I
Yes.
guess this would have been primarily Shep, but certainly there are days before you left and days after you arrived back, ready to start spring semester. That book would have been available for perusal, penned in Crayton's very awkward, difficult to read handwriting, i.e., probably got a D in penmanship when he was young. Might have been left-handed. Hard to say, but hard to read. So, does everybody see a passage from Crayton's
Yes,
Compendium?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
See, oh, there it goes.
Are we reading it out loud?
I guess just the passage that is a subtle clue that you've already rolled for a while ago that I would give you. Helen warned that the ritual would take a long time, so Ralph closed the bookstore early and joined us upstairs to get started.
Mm.
Helen is probably the Helen that is in the Pinebox Protector photograph. The Judith that is sort of subtly mentioned is also, I think her name is Judith Fowler, also one of the Pinebox protectors. Certainly Crayton White, I believe his name is, was one of the protectors. Ralph doesn't ring a bell.
I think. Oh, what was it? The bookstore. This.
A bookstore in town, probably.
I wonder if this particular passage relates to the vision that you had, Shep, of the 70s themed upstairs in an attic.
Mm-hmm. Sounds plausible.
Sounds similar.
There are a couple bookstores in town. 2 used, 1 distributor, new books. And of course the bookstore on the campus where you can get any and all of your class tomes ordered. Calculus, biology, art.
If we know where all of the bookstores are located, we can mark them off on the map of the city and then see if we can't go to each one, maybe.
Campus
See,
bookstore would probably be the easiest to get to and sneak around in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. My thoughts exactly. The first one to go to. And really check it out.
I'd like everybody to make a common knowledge roll for me, if you please. Erica got a 4.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Thank goodness you did.
Mir,
I. Oh my
I will Benny
gosh.
that.
Yeah. I also would like to Benny mine.
Mir gets a headache from trying to think about it. I see crit fail.
I got a 5.
I got a 7.
It's a little better.
There's a bookstore on campus. There's a new bookstore, kind of like a small outlet of like a Borders Books in town. There are 2 used bookstores. Only one of these 4 aforementioned buildings has a second floor. And the quoted text did say something about going upstairs. Now, the bookstore is part of the student union on campus, which does have a second floor, but the second floor is not really where you wouldn't consider that part of the bookstore. It's kind of like little shops where you could buy campus apparel. You know, your big like thermos, a sweatshirt, stuff like that. ETU Fighting Ravens, which I will try to show as Ava's character did order us. East Texas University Fighting Ravens t-shirts. I wear mine proudly as the dean. So that really doesn't count as a second story bookstore. One of the second floor story bookstores is called Mary Lynn's. guess like Book Emporium or something like that. Nobody really got a raise. But it's like, oh yeah, it's that old building. It's changed hands a couple times.
Mm.
Ava, you probably know it because
So,
it's across the store from your favorite comic book and gaming store.
oh yeah. Ava knows this one. And then the other, so the one that is most likely to be the one that the passage is talking about is not the one from the school.
Probably not.
Is it the Mary Lynn's building that you just mentioned?
That has a second story.
Yes. Okay.
It's kind of like on downtown on Main Street. So it's one of
Mm.
those buildings which might have like a facade front.
Mhm.
So that could be the one that we should go and look into.
Yeah. It
Since the one in
also
the
says
school
that
is
it was
not.
hidden behind a secret door.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of those secret doors where you pull out a book and like, whoop, there's a door.
Oh my gosh, it was just like a video game.
Oh, those are in video games?
Oh, they're all over.
Cool.
Secret
You've seen her
rooms.
playing
No.
Tomb Raider.
I don't remember.
Yes!
I think I
Tomb
remember
Raider.
a dinosaur, but then not much else.
No, you walked the
yeah.
dinosaur.
You gotta
Oh,
shoot
is
the
that like a
T-Rex.
so instead of dog
T-Rex
walking, it's dinosaur
comes out.
walking?
No, there's no dinosaur walking, Sophia.
I think you got. I may have to talk with Forrester and see if there was any side effects.
Oh, I don't remember her. I mean, maybe there was a squirrel in the window.
Yes, there was a squirrel for the last time.
That might not have been in
I know
Pinebox. That might have been in El Paso.
Squirrels are not native to Pinebox.
Shep,
I was
God,
not
what did I see in
staring
the
at
window?
an elf man. It was a squirrel.
Maybe it was a pigeon or a cat
could have been an
that
opossum.
distracted me.
An opossum
Yeah,
from a certain angle might look like a squirrel.
I'm
Or a
done
cat.
with you people.
No, I'm talking about that time you were playing Tomb Raider. We're not talking about the park stuff.
Shep, you get a vision. You get this faraway look in your eyes, and this vision will tie into one that you had over Christmas break, and I will tell you sort of how it ties in. You and your friends, along with a guy that carries himself with an air of being a professor, as he's a mature male adult, and a bunch of people that you would think would be students about your age. You're standing in a pavilion, kind of like a house without walls, if that makes sense. Just posts holding up a roof for shade. And it looks like this pavilion has netting that you can unroll, which would keep out the mosquitoes should you spend the night there. So it wouldn't keep out a bear, but it would certainly, the netting would keep out crunchy, crawly, stingy things. You are helping to unload 2 vans marked ETU, Student Union. Boxes and crates. You're probably carrying cases of fluids to drink, like water bottles and Gatorade, and perhaps some soft drinks. Perhaps unloading a small barbecue and like a propane tank. And there are other students helping as well, back and forth. And the air is rather jocular in nature. People are having a good time. And at least 2 people walk by you laden with sleeping bags. And in this pavilion are the frames of like cots. So you have like the interlocking bands which you could throw a roll-up mattress or a pad and a sleeping bag on top of, and be pretty comfortable during the night. And the teacher is carrying what looks to be a case with like rows of test tubes that seem to have like little sprigs of growth coming out of them, like little I don't want to call them saplings, sprigs maybe, something like that. And other things that you would consider appropriate for an overnight jaunt near the big thicket. You know, stuff like that. And this ties in with a vision you had about 2 weeks ago, probably while you were in Louisiana. You and your friends, Erica, Ava, and Sophia. Mirrors of photography. Yeah, Mirror's there too, and Rocco is too. You are standing on what appears to be a sand dune, but the sand is ashy and gray and gritty. It leaves a gritty feel in your teeth, and it's kind of cloying and clings a little bit to your skin. You are like kind of standing in a ring, like a circle, the five of you, with the dog looking around, and you probably put down a water dish for Rocco, and he's like lapping up that water like there's no tomorrow, because it's a desolate area. It's gray and ashy. However, over Ava's shoulder, you see the pavilion that ties in with your other vision. It looks like one and the same, and the mesh walls are rolled up, and there are a few students milling about, and those same white vans with the Raven's Head logo, and kind of hard to read, but it says like ETU Student Union painted on the side, emblazoned on the side of these like cargo vans. They're probably like 12 seaters, still with room in the back for cargo. And what is remarkable about this particular vision, everybody has one or two like medallions in their hand. And you see Sophia blow the sand, this gray ash dust off of one, and what it looks like a sheriff's star. It's like a ring with a star in the middle, with parts of the metal like cut away, so that if you like cast the light to it, it would send out the shape of a star. So it's like a star inset in a ring, is what I'm trying to say. She blows the ashy dust off of it and kind of wipes her other hand off on her shirt, leaving like an ashy smudge. So it looks like she was digging in the dirt to find this. And then you came back and everyone's like, Shep, you okay? You had this kind of, you look deep in thought. Were you thinking about that girl again?
No. It feels like we will be going on a field trip.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
Give me another, everybody give me a common knowledge roll. And this is going to be at +1, please.
Will do. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. Whew.
Mir got the...
Let's see. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought mine was going to be a lot worse.
I got an 8 this time.
Shep got a 7. An 8. This is success with a raise.
Why not?
Oh! The bubblegum pinks. Fail.
I
Oh
forgot the +1, so
no!
that's a 4.
Okay, that's a success. Yes, those of you that only succeeded in Savage Worlds, the target number for success is a 4. A 4, 5, 6, or 7 is just a success, which is still pretty good. You realize that, the second semester of sophomore year includes a trip, voluntary, to a place called the Burn, which is this lifeless gray area outside of Pinebox. It's a circle probably about 2 miles in diameter, perhaps 5-ish square miles in area. And every year, the students take a trip out there to plant flowers, to take soil samples, to test the acidity and the dimensions to see if the area is shrinking or growing at all, try to plant some trees to see if they can get anything to grow, because this is a barren area. Back in the year 1953, this area was decimated by a fire or some sort of like cataclysmic event, maybe a meteor, that just laid waste to it. And since then, nothing has grown in it. It's gray and ashy. With a raise, Ava, you know that Professor Barton is the professor every year that leads this quote unquote excursion, and it's part of the East Texas University, uh, the collegiate manner to tie the students to the background of this particular region. So forays into the big thicket, studies into the flora and fauna of this region, the Caddoan Indian legends and lore, the legends of the from the Mexican folklore that comes up from the south of the border, the very rich lore from like the voodoo, from Jamaica and Haiti, that sort of voodoo ritualism lore that comes over from the islands and reaches up through Louisiana. These are all important to know about, or so thinks the faculty that prepare the sort of the learning assembly of classes and stuff like that. It's probably one of the reasons that the Sophia's chupacabra statue got such a good grade, was because it ties directly in to that very rich mythical folklore. So yeah, his name is Professor Barton, Ava.
Got it. Professor Barton
Spends most of his time at the Bob Reynolds Agricultural Building. And you know that is the building where outside are a series of glass enclosures, hothouses, where you fought
the greenhouses.
those greenhouses. They're right
Yes.
out behind that building, Bob Reynolds Agricultural Center.
We know
That's the one where Sophia tried to
I
burn
burned it all
everything down.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
which time, right? I mean, it's Sophia and fire.
Right.
So you
You
have a
give
little
her fire,
experience,
she's gonna burn down a tree.
a little experience with that.
Well, I hate trees a little less right now.
Yeah,
I feel like past
You
me would have
only
really
hate them.
enjoyed the burn.
Yes, you only hate them. You do not fear them now.
They are a necessary evil.
Yes, they are actually, because we wouldn't really be breathing too much without them.
Something I had never considered before until recently.
I've shared a map of Mary
Whoa.
Lynn's used book
I see.
emporium. Should be an area that I have unmasked. It's the front entrance area,
Yes.
and sort of that
Mhm.
main area, right there.
I see.
I'm not going to drag and drop. Let's see. Classes haven't started yet. Students are starting to come back. They're coming in dribs and drabs, but this is always a fun place to go and look for an old rare paperback to read.
Hey guys, we can go to the comic book store, and then right across the street, the bookstore that we need to go to is right there. That sounds like a win-win. Very efficient.
I'm not going to drag and drop 25, mostly students, but some other, the occasional white or blue collar worker, maybe a professor or two, um, in is in here. But say that Ava, Sophia, and Shep, and I only put the three of you in here because it's really your game. You are the player characters. You are the wild cards.
Mhm.
I augment your
Yeah.
strength occasionally with an Eric or a Mir. I'm sorry, an Erica. Huh. Little faux pas there is I'm Eric. Erica, Mir, Rocco, when required, when it makes sense. But for the most part, you three are the one that the story surrounds. You are writing it as we go. So you walk into Mary Lou's Emporium, and the Mary Lynn of the same name is
Yep.
serving coffee to some of the people that are sitting at the stools, and she looks very harried as one person wishes to make a purchase of a small stack of say 3 books, so she has to run over and man one of the cash registers. As she runs by, somebody asks for more creamer for their coffee, and it looks like she's the one gal show. This this African
Oh
American
boy.
woman running back and forth, and I won't even require a notice roll because on the door as you enter, on both registers and up in the center sort of coffee bar area, are very well easily visible help wanted signs.
Oh.
Hello, y'all. If y'all want coffee, I'll be with you in just a minute. Let me just take care of this paying customer. And I see this, and it's we have some other works by this
Wonderful.
author if you're interested, etc., etc., etc. Or you're in a bookstore,
Wonderful.
a used bookstore. There are many books in this bookstore. Not surprisingly.
There are so many books, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Is there anything
It's
particular the
so
three of you are
good.
looking for? We got your periodicals up there. We got your fiction books back there to the right. We got nonfiction and journals and reference materials over here behind me to my immediate left. We got a little bit of everything. If you need help finding your way around, just ask. If you're looking for comic books, you got the wrong
Ooh.
store. The Pinebox Comics is across the street.
It's like, yes. Yes.
And she looks at you, Ava, and she says, "Ah, see, you already been there. You should probably have a bag with a couple comic books."
Yeah, just you know it.
I will ask her, do you have any books pertaining to the big burn in the thicket?
The big burn.
Mhm.
Says, I believe I have a couple of magazines, periodicals that have an article or two. I think you'd be better served going to the college. I guess
Oh,
y'all,
okay.
college students, right? I think y'all want to
Yes.
Yeah.
go and either there or to the Pine Box Library and start looking at old newspaper clippings, something like that. She says, "I might have something. Give me just a minute. Let me go see. I think I might have a something written by a local author that might make a passing reference to it, but I'm not sure."
Oh, thanks. We just know we have to go there later in
Oh
the year,
yeah,
so it's always good to kind of see what others have done before us.
sophomore year, am I right?
Yep.
Yes.
Hmm?
Halfway there.
Very good. Still many opportunities to kill all of you. And
Excuse me, ma'am?
A second time?
that was a disembodied voice from above.
Oh,
Yes. Of
And
what
course.
was
I mentioned Phil chose
this
artwork.
something?
This is just like an example of some of the artwork that Phil has that I lifted just because
Oh
they make
my
just
goodness.
such great personalities to just drop in place. And yeah, this one's carrying a beaker. probably not the best choice, but there are students, male, and of course I'd be remiss would I not include some ladies, some student females.
Oh,
There's too many
I
boys
see.
in the corner.
I see Laura Lynn over there.
Yeah,
Wonder if she's talked to Mir yet.
I probably
Okay,
No.
I probably reused a couple of these, and gosh, why don't I figure out how to right click and unlock tokens so you guys can sort of move wherever you want. And I'll just drop this off of page 1. Some of Phil's marvelous females.
Sophia's
You're
like
fine.
approaching some shelves by the wall. She's looking like she's browsing, but she's trying to find a secret door.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just,
Looking around, does it look like there's an upstairs as part of the bookstore itself?
It does. It definitely does, because the facade hints that there is a second floor.
Well, I mean, you know how there are some bookstores where you go upstairs, or
there's nothing like that. I think you're saying, is there like is there, if you look up, can you see a balcony overlooking? No, there's nothing like that.
Okay.
But there is like a false front to the building that appears to have some windows. Sort of all these main street buildings look like they have a second floor, and they're all different, and they can't tear them down because they're part of the Historical Society of Pinebox. They have to keep them well maintained. They can't tear them down and put up like a modern cubist structure. They have to be of this certain year of construction to make them all very uniform and pleasing to the eye.
Do I see the up top left corner? I want to look around these tiny crevices that I can squirm my way into.
All the nooks and crannies to hold the melted butter. As
avoiding the boy at the counter.
What is the biscuit? Eggo muffins, maybe? No, Thomas.
Just walking past is please don't see me. Please don't see me. I'm just minding my business.
Because Thomas's promises. Ava, can you see that I am showing portions of the map?
I can see.
And I've unlocked tokens. Y'all feel free to move about the map. And I'll try to go by eye and uncommon. I'm not going to use shadow and all that stuff, because once you see one of these areas, very, very easy, easy to get lost in here. It's a veritable maze.
I want to.
That's okay. Yeah, this is bigger than I thought.
Oh my god, I love bookstores like this in real life. Just meandering through these. They're so fun.
Oh, Sophia, you're in the art section.
Oh, I found it. I was totally focused on the task at hand and not looking for the art section.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yes, of course. I'm looking around. Would it be possible for me to use my nerdy knowledge of video games to identify what may or may not look like a secret switch or lever that could reveal a secret stairway of some sort?
And any of these books could trigger such a mechanism, but I'm going to be straight up and honest with you that these aren't so much walls as double-sided bookshelves, and you can sort of pull some of these books down and sort of peer through and see the books on the back. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
In other words,
they're like open shelves.
Yeah, there's no wall behind this shelf, because you go around the other side and look, and you're looking at the back side of the shelves. If that makes sense. Oh, there's all sorts. Oh, you guys could live in here. You could lose yourself. You've got everything you need.
So
Reading
much
material
space.
and coffee. What more could you need?
Well, donuts.
Hamburgers and pizzas.
Oh, behind the counter, if you blow up your map, I made sure to add several carbohydrate overload trays of treats, bagels and croissants, and muffins.
Oh,
You
I
know,
see it.
Yum.
right next to
I
the
think I
to the
see
to
it.
the to
I
the, to
love
the
it.
big old coffee urns.
See, the problem is that there's a boy sitting on that stool. I can't reach for a croissant because there's a man in the way.
Mary Lynn is Mary
No
Lynn is sort of
croissants
double.
for you.
She's sort of double. She's doing double time here. She's running back and forth.
Oh.
She's happy to reach in with her tongs and serve you any one of the confectionery delights. Should you be interested in consuming one? Absolutely. I might just be a minute, darling. I haven't forgotten about your question about the burn.
Thank you. Is this a window
God,
over
there's
here that I'm
more.
by?
Yeah. Let's in a little bit of light. Yeah. Let's see. There's a door there. There's a door there. There's some bathrooms.
There's doors.
There's some bathrooms with doors here and here.
Is that what I'm looking at?
There's
Like the wall right
there's
here
some
by me?
restrooms. That door, Ava, is locked.
Yes.
There is a camera up on the wall pointed down. That camera, from it comes a wire. That wire disappears into a hole that's been drilled into the wall. And there is a sign that says, "This is a bookstore, not a hotel. If you want privacy, go get a room somewhere." Signed, the establishment. And in large block letters, it says, "Area under surveillance." That door is locked.
Oh my goodness.
That says manage.
This door told me to get a room.
That says
Maybe-
office, Sophia.
Sure.
That says office.
That's a what?
It says office,
okay.
and it is locked.
I walk over to Ava and just like hug her put my arms around her shoulders and hug her and give her a kiss on the and look
How
up at the
cute!
camera.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So there's
He's
there's
like,
some, there's two doors over here as well, and these doors are marked storage. These are entrance doors to the men's and ladies' rooms. This is the one with the camera
Oh.
above it that says, "Go get a room," and this one says
Go get a
office.
room.
Is there a camera pointed at the office?
There's not. It's a pretty good lock, though.
Let me see. I'm gonna go over to Sophia and be like, Sophia, that door over there has a camera,
Uh-huh.
and the camera told me to go get a room. And
Do you want that room?
what room?
Make
The
a
room
notice.
that's locked.
Make a notice roll, ladies.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Oh my God,
Notice,
there's a
notice,
boy around
notice.
the corner.
Oh, wow. Well, the bubblegum failed, but the periwinkle did not disappoint. Ava, with an 18, you see a boy he's sort of standing at the end of one of these long aisleways, and he's looking at the two of you. And he approaches the two of you, and he goes, "That's the office. I don't think you guys are supposed to want to go in there." Is there
Oh my
something you're
God.
looking? Is there something you're looking for? Maybe I can help you find it.
Who said what?
He probably followed you over from the comic book store.
Sophia.
What?
Y'all are getting macked on by a comic book geek.
Hey, did it hurt
Wait,
What did what hurt?
when you fell?
how
from,
do you know that?
when you fell from heaven?
You know that? Oh no! Oh no! Sophia, I need help. I'm sorry. There's a book over here that needs organizing.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, this
Let
this
us
does
organize.
not follow
Oh,
the Dewey Decimal System. This book belongs way over there.
it's kind of funny that you've picked the he looks up mating rituals of the cultures of the world.
Ava, I need to go to the bathroom and you have to come with me because that's what girls do. Let's go.
Yes, the ladies. I'm sorry. Please, we'll be back. Goodbye.
He's pulling down he's pulling down a book of like the ritual dances of the Aborigines of Australia, and he's just about to open it up and show you when you guys make a hasty retreat. Yeah, I guess they're not interested.
God.
I guess they're not interested in culture.
Uncultured swine.
What you doing, Shep?
Oh my
Let's see where you are. Oh, you're right dead center. You get yourself a cup of Joe. That coffee smells delicious.
I will. Yeah, I'll have that, and I'm looking over at the help wanted signs too.
Oh, Mary Lou's like, the semester's about to start. And, this is a popular place. Students come here to get away, enjoy a cup of coffee, bagel or muffin or something like that. She's like, I can't pay much, but I pay fair. And the work. She says the work is really easy. The hours aren't demanding, and I'll work around any schedule that you have for your classes and what have you. She detects a little bit of Creole maybe in your accent.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds good. We have a professor that likes to do special projects overnights. Would that be a problem?
No, we close at 9.
Okay.
Anything you want. I mean, if you can give me 2 8-hour shifts a week, 3, maybe just come out and help a couple days at lunchtime when I have my lunch rush. That would be great. I'll work with you. I'll work around whatever limitations you have. I'm a one gal show here, and it's getting really hard. My old dogs are tired.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Do you have rules about employees dating? Because my girlfriend might like some extra money as well.
Yes, I was just thinking about working at the cafe too.
I don't know, sweetie. If I was a little bit younger, maybe you'd be fighting me off. But,
don't tell her.
Oh, wait
that.
a minute. Oh, she's
mean.
Yeah, this was before like EEO and political correctness, so she would say that with a big smile. You imagine that in a different world, she and Tante would get along, like really well.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's hold that thought. I think it's a little bit after 9. This is a great place to stop. The girls are hiding from the nerd, who is intent on showing Ava books about mating rituals. And you've identified, basically up that hallway, there is a rear exit that would probably exit into an alley out back. You can tell it is an exterior door because it is far more stout than
by the bathrooms.
Yeah, this is far more stout than your average interior door. The bathrooms look like they could leave a cleaning, but well, at least all the toilet seats are intact. Ava, I recall you made a shield out of one of the last toilet seats you encountered. Very
she was heckin' drunk.
Very good. And this is just a phenomenal place to stop because no one's in danger imminently of dying. Shep, I don't know. Some of those croissants look like they may be infused with that sort of white cream filling, or maybe a drizzle of chocolate on the inside. So you might be in danger of carb overloading. But
as long as Erica didn't cook them, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Like we don't carb overload on pizza.
The pizza bar.